I thought I'd quickly jump on here and explain the AHPRA process to any UK nurses that are thinking about moving to Australia. So the first phase is all about documentation. You need your birth certificate, your passport, your driver's license and your degree certificate. You'll also need to request your degree transcripts from your university, and it's basically just a big document to say what modules you did and what placements you went on, and make sure they don't email it to you. You need the hard copy, and it's a huge document, so you don't want to be printing that all out by yourself. Now, this is something you can't do as a newly qualified nurse because you need to have a statement of entry into the NMC register. So it tells AHPRA how long you've been a nurse for in the UK, and you also need a statement of service. So there's a minimum requirement for the amount of hours that you need to do before you can come to Australia as a nurse from the UK. So I was a nurse for 2 years before I started the AHPRA process, and I got the statement of service from my employer. It basically just has to have the company header and what your job title was, how many hours a week you worked, and the dates that you worked there. Now, once you've got all of these documents together, you're going to need to take a photocopy of all of them and take the originals and the photocopy to a solicitor. They're going to have to certify them with a specific phrase, and you have to make sure the wording is correct because AHPRA will reject your application if it's not right. After they've been certified, scan them all individually into your computer and save them all as individual PDF files. Now you can make your account on the AHPRA website and start uploading all of those documents. After you've done that, you're going to need a statement of good standing from the NMC, which is basically just a link on their website that you click on, and it sends it straight to AHPRA. It's just to make sure you don't have any cautions or suspensions on your PIN in the UK currently. It took about 2 weeks after I submitted the first phase to get the email to say that it had been successful and that I now needed to complete a police clearance. And this costs around $65 and probably takes just under a week to come through. Once you've submitted all your documents and you've done your police clearance, you move on to phase 2, which is basically just buying your AHPRA PIN. So it costs around $500 to first initially enter the register, and then after that, every year it's about $200. It's important to remember that every nurse in Australia has to renew their PINs in May, so if you aren't sure about when you're going to come, definitely keep that in mind because you will have to pay again even if you haven't been on the register for a year. There's also a bit of online training that you have to do on the AHPRA website just to prove that you understand how the healthcare system out here in Australia works and how different areas of the population have different